Hi everyone, my name is Rashomonk and this video is about the monk. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 tips how to gear up your monk from fresh level 70 to speed farm T16 or GRs 100. This video is going to be everything about the basic stuff, how to get your gear faster. So if you don't know how to get your monk to level 70 faster and you just started the class or you haven't played monk in a while, I'm going to put a link on the description below because I have a video how to level up your monk 1 to 70 in an hour and 46 minutes. So if you feel that information useful, please share that information and let's get into it right now. All right, guys, and this is the first tip. So when we start, right, as soon as you get to level 70, the first thing we need to do is make sure or check how many shards we have, because part of the deal is to gamble with Kadala. But the main thing we're going to do this season is get the multiplier, right? So if you're, let's say you're not lucky when you level 1 through 70 because you have bad RNG or you don't get any like special drops, as soon as you hit level 70 with your yellow and blue items, the first thing you need to do is gamble with Kadala, right? But we need the crudest boots. The crudest boots are pretty much an all item being reworked this season, but they do a lot of damage this season, and they're gonna multiply our mystical light damage. And if you have it in the cube, it's gonna be 200%. So my recommendation is, if you don't have the crudest boots, go create a level 1 monk and roll boots, because you have 50% chance if the boots are legendary, they're gonna be the crudest boots. And as soon as you have the crudest boots, your DPS is gonna go all the way up. So this is something mandatory. So the first thing we need to focus is all shards, level 1 monk, roll boots. Then we're gonna do the next thing. We're gonna make sure that we roll with Kadala all our weak links. What do you mean weak links? Well, all these items that are below level 70 and not yellow. So if you have blue items, if you have some yellow items level 62, remember, if Reaper of Souls between 60 and 70 and Reaper of Souls, all the gear was reworked. So level 70 items are going to be super powerful compared to the other items. Another thing when you gamble with Kadala is forget about the weapons, forget about amulets and rings, because they're super expensive. One amulet is 100 shards. You can roll 4 items. And at this point, you need more basic stuff like life and main stat. In this case, dexterity. So we're going to roll items with Kadala. And if you get a really bad item, don't worry, just try to cover all items level 70, because you need all these main stats. Let's say right now, right, out of these items, we need another helm and another belt. Then we check how many shards we still have left, and we keep rolling, right? So we get a better version of the items. And if we're lucky, we can get a legendary item. So after you have them equipped, just make sure that you have dexterity and vitality in all items. If you're missing one, please check. If you have a chest and legs, make sure that you have an option to roll also sockets, because sockets are going to give you more defense, and we need defense at this point. Same thing with the helm. So let's try to, make sure that we have main stats. If not, you can keep like re-rolling items a little bit to see if you can replace them, so you're going to have more damage and more vitality. So another thing that is really important is, at this point, we should have, when you hit level 70, if you followed my video, you should have a level 70 weapon with a level reduction requirement, right? We can always craft another one, another level 70 weapon. Just starting level 70 fresh, 200 axe, still super powerful. So you roll a 200 axe and try to roll a socket. If you have 200 axe like this one, instead of having the cooldown reduction, because we need vitality, we need the DPS, what you're going to do is you're going to go talk to Miriam, and we're going to roll off, in this case, cooldown reduction or socket. So with this thing, you're going to unlock something, an achievement from the seasonal journey, but also when you have the socket, you're going to equip a green gem. If you have the Marquise regular, green gem is fine. It's 100% crit. It's 105. If you have the Imperial Emerald, it's way better. So look at the difference, 138k and now it's 145k damage. Another thing is the life pool. Our life pool needs to increase to get as close as possible to 400k so we can survive easily. But right now it's 350, we're fine. Then we're still missing items, right? Amulets and rings. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna craft them with gems. So because they're expensive, I mean, they're not super expensive, but they take gems, and sometimes when you start season, you don't have a lot of gems. Try to craft one by one. Make sure that your amulet is coming with at least crit. Like, you need at least one crit. If not, you can craft another one. And rings, you can craft 2 the first time, and then check for crit damage, because crit damage is going to increase your overall DPS by a lot. So this one is crit chance, and this one is crit chance as well. So you have both with crit and main stats. This is why our damage went up to 215. Okay, here you can see the difference between an amulet with crit chance and crit damage and just an amulet with regular stats. Usually is it's a lot of difference. So on the amulets and rings, crit chance and crit damage are going to increase your DPS by a lot. It's 215k. If you equip the amulet, you go up to 243, almost 250k, which is great. Then when we have this, we're going to start doing regular rift. Regular rift, as much as possible. But also, we're going to check with the blacksmith, because the blacksmith is going to have a recipe for us. Belt. You're going to check for sage. If you have enough mats, right, you can craft sage 3 pieces. So with 3 pieces of sage, what you're going to do is you're going to get a benefit. The bonus is going to double the amount of death breaths you get every time you kill an elite pack, or every time you kill a Rift Guardian, right? So at this point, everything is going to be about crafting. Being efficient with crafting is going to help you get the gear you want. So the only way to be efficient with crafting is if you collect mats, you need to collect all yellow items, blue items, white items, but also you need to collect all your DBs. And DBs are super, super hard to obtain. So this set with 3 pieces is going to give you double. So that means your DBs are not going to be a problem anymore. So equip 3 pieces of sage at the beginning, and then we're going to start running regular rifts. So keep the same difficulty level you have. If you don't have enough shards at the beginning to roll all your items level 70, if you are able to have all your items level 70 yellow, you can definitely do T1. If you have the Cruise Boots, Mystic Ally, Water Ally, and any multiplier in the cube, maybe a weapon or something that you found while you're leveling, you can increase your difficulty. So T1 is going to be by default 100% fine, and in T1 it's going to drop more legendary items. So moving forward, what we're going to do is we're going to run at least 5 rifts, and after 5 rifts, you're going to have 5 keys to do greater rifts. Also, you're going to have maybe 2 or 3 legendary items. So with these legendary items equipped and running GRs, you can run the same level that you're running your regular rift. If you're doing Torment 1, you can even increase a little bit by 11, 12, even 13, which is Torment 2. If you're fine, you're clearing like super fast, and the first 2 you're gonna finish, they're gonna give you 2 gems. The first one is gonna be Bane of the Powerful, and the other one is gonna be Legacy of Dreams. And these 2 gems are really important. So in this case, Legacy of Dreams is the most important gem that you have to equip. For this gem to work, you need to take your Sage set off and put it on your follower. Okay, 3 pieces of your Sage set on your follower. You're gonna equip all your legendary items, right? And plus the yellow items you have. And moving forward, you're gonna equip this gem, and for each legendary item you have, it's gonna increase your DPS. So if you need an extra legendary item, you can have, or you can keep maybe the belt or the hands or pants from Sage, but just 1 item. If you get the benefit of the bonus from the set Enos, right? You have the pants. But if any of this 2 set, 4-piece or 6-piece set is green and it's showing the bonus, you're gonna lose the bonus from this gem. So you want to have legendary items from different sets, not combined, and also regular legendary items, right? So we're gonna play Legacy of Dreams as much as possible, because Legacy of Dreams is super powerful early on. So if you're not friendly with Juliana, this is gonna be your go-to. Equip as many legendary items as you can and increase your Legacy of Dreams to level 25 plus. The reason is, as soon as you hit level 25, you have an ancient item, it's gonna double up your damage. And also, remember, we still have ethereal items this season. So if you are lucky and you have an ethereal item, this ethereal is gonna increase your damage by a lot. So look at our DPS right now, right? So it's 263k. If we equip this ethereal item, all of a sudden our DPS go 358, but we still have another slot to equip maybe a regular weapon. So we went 400k. So we double up our DPS technically, just equipping an ethereal item. Also with Legacy of Dreams, this is counting as an ancient item. So it's gonna double up the damage from the gem. And this is gonna be insane. Cruder's Boots are gonna do everything for you with Mystic Ally, Water Ally. You're just gonna walk around and destroy everything. So tip number 2, after you have at least 7 to 8 legendary items, you're gonna be fine to jump into Torment 7 or Torment 8. Make sure that you have your weapons. So at this point, you're gonna try to keep 100 weapons equipped. And one of the tips is we're gonna save these specific weapons. We're gonna find these weapons all over the place. So it's gonna be fist weapons for monk, yellow fist weapons for monk, right? So these weapons are gonna drop all the time. And every time we pick yellow items, instead of destroying these weapons, we're gonna save these weapons in our stash. Same thing we're gonna do with amulets and rings. So why? Because they're super expensive to roll with Kadala. So you don't want to roll weapons or amulets or rings with Kadala. We save them, and then we're gonna use the recipe number 3 to increase our legendary items. The same thing. We're gonna use the recipe number 3. Recipe number 3 is gonna be 25 DBs, 50 of each mat, and they're gonna transform a regular level 70 item, rare item, into a legendary guarantee. But these weapons are gonna come with a multiplier for the monk specifically. So you might have a multiplier for Wave of Light, or for LTK, or for something else. So with that multiplier, you can also equip that skill together with your Mystic Ally and do more damage. And also that multiplier is going to get the benefit from Legacy of Dreams. So it's a win-win. So we're going to transmute. In this case, we have this Vengeful Wind, which is going to increase the maximum stack of Sweeping Wind and the damage by 733%. No matter what, are you gonna equip these items? And if you equip these items, you're gonna be fine, right? So the next step is gonna be try to go from like 7 to 10 legendary items to all 13 legendary items, because you're gonna play T7, right? So the idea is to be efficient in T7. So do T7 and destroy everything as fast as possible. And as soon as you get your first ethereal, this is gonna increase your DPS so much that you're gonna be fine. Just leveling up your Legacy of Dreams. So this is really important, because then we're gonna try to push towards the Wave of Light Legacy of Dreams. What do you mean the Wave of Light Legacy of Dreams? Well, the Wave of Light Legacy of Dreams is a set that usually what you need to have is, let me see if I can show you some of my items I got. So you need the torch, right? This is a Diablo that we're gonna transform with the recipe number 3 in the cube. It's going to be easy to obtain. You have 25% chance to get a multiplier every time you use the Diablo, and 12.5% chance to get the torch. So the torch is going to happen sooner or later. If we get the Kyoshir's Blade or the Rabbit Strike, both are going to give you extra damage for the Wave of Light. So with the torch equipped and maybe the Kyoshir's Blade, you're going to be able to use your regular legendary items to increase the damage from Wave of Light. So Wave of Light is going to be your main DPS source, combined with the Mystic Ally, Water Ally. And with this, we're going to destroy everything. Then the next item we're going to farm is chests. And we're going to go for the Cinder Code. Cinder Code is going to reduce the Spirit Codes for fire skills. And Wave of Light is going to be fire. So we put Fire Rune and Wave of Light, and we're gonna have double up. Like we're gonna have free Wave of Light all the time. Between the torch, that is gonna reduce 50% the cost of your Wave of Light, and also Cinder Code that's gonna reduce maybe even 30% the cost of your fire skills. You get 80% reduction. So with this combo, you're gonna be completely fine to destroy T10, no problem. So this is gonna be your next phase, and then when we feel comfortable between T8 and T10, farming everything, we're gonna start gathering Enos set. So this is going to be tip number 3, how to get your Enos set up and running. So to get 6-piece Enos, one thing we're going to do is, of course, we're going to roll shards with Kadala, right? So the easiest way to get Enos pieces is rolling boots or pants, because you have less items in your item loot. That means when you hit level 70, you have specific items that you can drop as a monk, and specific boots or pants that you can drop as a monk. And these two are the minimum are like 9 and 10 items that you can get. So 1 out of 10 is 10% chance. So 10% chance to get Enos boots, and it's kind of like 12% chance to get Enos pants. So pants or boots all the time till you get at least 5 pieces. It doesn't matter if it's the same piece, right? Now after we have the 5 pieces, we're going to start using the recipe from the cube to transform our set items. If we have 5, let's say we have 5 pants, right? 5 pants. So you want to equip Enos, and you have 5 pants. Use this recipe. You put the pants in. You need to have like at least 10 Forgotten Souls and 10 DVs. DVs shouldn't be a problem because we have our follower with Sage. So the only problem should be Forgotten Souls. We need to destroy a lot of legendary items to get Forgotten Souls, and this is going to be totally fine. But then we're going to re-roll with this recipe Enos pants, and they're going to transform in a different set item. The only thing is they're not going to be ancient ever. And another thing you need to keep in mind is Enos, you have more than 5 pieces. You have more than 6 pieces either. So with Enos, you're going to have the weapon. The weapon is not useful for us at all. So you can roll whatever you want, but if you roll the weapon, you need to roll again. And if you find the weapon somewhere, you save it and use this recipe to transform the weapon in another piece that you might use, right? So as soon as you can equip 5 pieces, let's say you have the Spirit Stone, you have the belt, you have the boots, and you have pants and hands. 5 pieces. With 5 pieces, what you can do is, because you're farming T7 to T10 with Way of Life and you're efficient right now, you can start farming Act 1 bounties. What's the reason? Well, if you get the Ring of Royal Grandeur, and at T7 or T10 the drop is really high for Ring of Royal Grandeur, is the best way to farm Ring of Royal Grandeur. When you get the ring, this ring right here, this ring is going to increase your set items by 1. So you have 5 pieces, it's going to complement the set to 6 pieces. So with this ring, you're going to be fine. If you don't have the ring, you have bad RNG. Keep gambling with Kadala, pants and boots till you get the 6-piece Enos. You're going to equip your 6-piece. And with the Cruise boots in the queue and 6-piece Enos, it's going to be a different story. And if by any chance you have already an ethereal weapon, your damage is going to be huge. So tip number 4, how to gear up your monk to speed farm T16. So the idea, and in this case, I'm going to equip my T16 set right now. So you have 6-piece Enos, right? You're going to do more damage. With 2 pieces, you get all the benefits from Mystical Eyes. Also, you get all benefits from the mantras. With 4 pieces, you get the best effect all your mantras at all times, but also 5% damage reduction for each Mystical Eye you have active. So Mystical Eyes are going to stay active as soon as we do damage. They're going to increase. They're going to be around us, right? But this is not consistent. So even though you get more tanky when you do more damage and you have more Mystical Eyes out, it's not all the time. So you're going to feel like you're kind of squishy at some point. So let's continue with the 6 pieces. 6 pieces, they're going to increase your damage. Your Mystical Eyes are going to last longer. They don't die. They're super strong. But they're going to increase your damage by 3,000% for each Mystical Eye you have out. So that's why Water Ally is so powerful, because then as soon as you have more than 2 Mystical Eyes, you're going to start destroying everything. So the first piece you need to roll after you have your 6-piece Enos are these shoulders. I'm not going to name it because it's super complicated, but these shoulders are going to give you, every time you cast Cyclone Strike, you're going to reduce your damage from 40 to 50% for 5 seconds. This is what you need, because Cyclone Strike is going to help you out to kind of like accumulate or group mobs, and then your Mystical Eyes are going to destroy all of them. But also you need to keep this bonus up so you get more defense. So this is our main item. When we get this item, we feel comfortable, we can increase our difficulty level. The next item we're gonna roll is the bracers. They're gonna have a synergy because both work around Cyclone Strike, but these bracers are gonna increase the damage from your Cyclone Strike. Enemies hit by your Cyclone Strike take more damage. Like in this case, can be like even 200% more damage. And it's gonna increase the damage for your Mystic Ally for 5 seconds. Split Fire allies gain 5 times this bonus. So Fire Ally for pushing is really good when we use Cyclone Strike. But other than that, don't worry about this benefit. Air Ally is gonna be just fine. We just cast Cyclone Strike and we get the benefit from the shoulders, and we get the damage increase from the bracers, right? So 6-piece Enos and these 2 guys, and you're fine. Then the next step is to go from T10 to T13 or T16. What you need is one weapon that is going to help you a lot to be the Furnace or the Flying Dragon. Why the Flying Dragon? The Flying Dragon is going to increase the attack speed you have, and the attack speed is going to increase the damage from Mystic Allies. So you can have the Flying Dragon here in your Cruder's Boots, and as the ring, you can have the ring of Royal Grandeur, and you're going to be fine. This is as a multiplier. My recommendation is go for the Furnace and try to see if you can get an ethereal weapon with the Flying Dragon attack speed multiplier. Another good weapon is Echoing Fury. Echoing Fury is it's a one-handed mace that usually is going to give you also the same benefit. So it's going to give you Frenzy, which is more attack speed, and this is going to help. So you can have your ethereal item with the Echoing Fury on the side, or if you have the benefit already on your ethereal item from the Flying Dragon or Echoing Fury, you can equip an Ingium. For me, this is the best setup. I'm going to put a link in the description below with the D3 planner for this build. It's going to be Ingium and an ethereal weapon with the Flying Dragon and Furnace in the cube. So what you do with this build is you're going to pretty much hunt elites and you're going to destroy all of them. After that, to get focus and restrain, the trick is you might have 5 focus and no restrain for a while. Don't get frustrated. They're going to increase your damage. They're going to double up your damage. But the most important thing is you need to know what you're missing. So if you play in groups, you can always type on chat, hey, you know what, I need a restrain. If you guys have an extra one, it doesn't matter if it's another class, if it's a strength class or an intelligence class. Intellect, you can reroll intellect off the ring, or you can reroll the whole ring. But the idea is to have it equipped because of the bonus. You get 50% bonus increase every time you use a generator, and then 50% more every time you use a suspender. So it's 100% more damage for focus and restraint, and this is really important. Then I added Squirt's Necklace. Squirt's Necklace is not mandatory, I'm gonna be honest, because if you take at least one hit, you're gonna lose the bonus of the Squirt's Necklace. But if you have the opportunity to have enough power to destroy everything around you before they hit you, Squirt's Necklace is gonna stay active as long as possible. And with Squirt's Necklace active, you get another 100% damage increase, which is gonna pretty much destroy everything in T16. That's the maximum goal. So if you feel comfortable, let's talk about the legendary gems. We have Bane of the Trap. Bane of the Trap is a gem that is gonna increase the damage. It's gonna create an aura that's gonna stop or reduce the movement speed of all enemies, and then enemies with movement speed reduction, they're gonna take more damage from the same gem. So the gem is kind of like proccing itself, and is really interesting. Another thing that is interesting is Enforcer. Enforcer is gonna increase the damage of your pets by a specific percentage, and your Mystic Allies are pets, so they receive this damage increase, and also they take less damage, so they're kind of tanky. And finally, for this version, we get the Boon of the Hoarder. Of course, every time you pick up gold, you get more toughness with the gold wrap, and also on top of that, you get movement speed. So this is really important because movement speed is going to be our best friend. So when you get comfortable, you're going to destroy T16. And destroying T16 is going to increase your mats, it's going to increase your chances to get better items, and then you can roll and start thinking about your augments and everything. But with this version, you're going to be able to speed farm T16, and using the same version without the belt, you can jump in speed 80s with this same version and destroy 80s and 90s. Then if you want to increase your damage, of course you need a better ethereal. You get ancient items and you can put some tweaks on it and then speed farm 100. So what I'm using right now, I'm speed farming like 107s with this version. I just have all like 6 pieces equipped. I added convention of the elements in the cube, and I have Bane of the Powerful because it's 20% damage flat, right? So I just want to keep it easy. I just want to chill while I'm talking to chat. Remember guys, I stream on Twitch Tuesday to Saturdays, and if you have any questions about this build, or if you have any comments, you can show up on Twitch and also drop a comment over there, or maybe in chat, and ask all your questions. I'm more than happy to answer. With this version, I'm speed farming with no problem. 107s, and now I think I'm gonna move towards 110s, and this is so easy right now. So guys, look at this damage. This is the damage I have right now because I have 3 augments and a lot of like ancient items. I'm pushing for 110 speeds, and this is really good. I clear 123 without any augments or all these ancient items, so I'm gonna wait a little bit to see if I can get a better clear. But this set is doing a lot of damage. The ethereal items are so OP. So far I found like almost 40 ethereals, and they're super good. Off class as well. So I'm gonna make a video about how to speed farm ethereals in channel. So if you feel this information useful, please drop a like, and also consider to subscribe to the channel so more videos are coming. And thank you for staying this long. I'll see you guys in Sanctuary. See you.